All right, Rhino. It's ready for the king, brother.
Thank you.
Very well. Discipline is everything. Ryan's super disciplined. One day he says, hey, you gotta cut down on this, cut down on that. It goes down to him and how he's gonna cut his weight and how he's feeling.
Food is damn good. Carlos makes some good food. Weight's coming off, my body's performing well, and we're all doing a great job.
Some fighters train to improve, but Ryan Garcia looks like he's training to reclaim something that slipped away. After the Raleigh loss, the criticism wasn't just media noise. It felt personal, like it followed him into every round of sparring and every quiet moment between sessions. This camp doesn't feel like routine preparation. It feels like a mission to take back his identity, to remind people, and maybe himself, who he really is. You can see the shift in camp now. No distractions, no drifting energy, just work. Henry Garcia stands there watching like a human lie detector, and training with your father again changes the dynamic.
I'm the assistant trainer, co-trainer, but again, I'm their dad, so it doesn't matter. I mean,
The vibes are amazing, baby.
For Ryan, the truth is it doesn't matter because he's too disciplined to let the weight or the next day weigh in be a problem for him.
You think it's just a working out thing, but it's more of a mental battle. And Ryan's so accustomed to it at this point that I truly don't believe it's going to affect him in any way. He just has a mission and he knows what he needs to accomplish.
It's pretty much the same process, getting down to 140 and then understanding when you got to make that final cut. You don't want to do it too early because it's tough to live in dehydration.
Completely. There's no comfort zone, no soft praise. If Ryan cuts a round short, Henry sees it instantly. If his focus slips, Henry feels it. That kind of accountability sharpens a fighter differently because it's rooted in honesty, not hype. Since the Devin Haney fight, something subtle reset in Ryan. Not dramatic, not chaotic, just a quiet recalibration. This version feels closer to the kid who used to throw that left hook with reckless confidence. But now there's composure layered on top of it. He's still explosive and flashy, but the movements aren't rushed anymore. There's patience in the rhythm, and that patience makes the danger feel more controlled.
You've been with me too long.
Too long, baby. Right now, we're about 3 weeks away, so we're getting ready to get our peak phase, all the explosive work. We've been doing it 6 years now. So when he comes in, I see immediately where he's at, and that's how we break our workout out for that day.
Pain is, you can't do anything about it. You just have to accept it. The best move you could do is to keep going. If you're gonna stop during the workout, don't work out. Just wait for tomorrow. If your body needs that much rest, then get your ass home and sleep.
Everybody always wants to cut 5 to 10 pounds the last week of the fight, but during that week, you lose your strength. We ain't losing no strength. We doing this the right way. He's eating right. He has nutrition on point. We're doing the strength and conditioning.
The vibe in this camp isn't watch me, it's trust me. And that difference matters against someone like Mario Barrios, who isn't built to be a highlight clip, but a problem to solve. Ryan understands that another slip-up would twist the narrative against him permanently. So this time it's discipline over drama. Fewer tweets, more rounds, less performance, more precision. The old Ryan might be back, but he feels sharper, quieter, and far less interested in playing to the crowd. Across town, the energy feels completely different because Mario Barrios isn't chasing redemption. He's building a trap. There's no cinematic storyline unfolding in his gym, just repetition and calculation. Heavy bag thuds echoing while Joe Goosen watches closely, fully aware of Ryan's habits and weaknesses. It's not emotional.
Barrios may not be backed by a money team, but his trainer, Hall of Fame tactician Virgil Hunter, helped Andre Ward, Amir Khan, Abner Mares, and others reach stardom, and will bring an edge in experience.
Mario, he's the type of kid that you enjoy coming to the gym for. He understands the importance of coming out and doing a full camp to give himself an opportunity to get in great shape and also to be able to work on some things. He'll make contact with the doors, okay? Quick. Okay. That's a tribute to his dedication and desire.
Strategic, and that calm approach carries its own quiet confidence. Joe Goosen being in Barrios' corner adds another layer, because he once helped construct Ryan's strengths and now studies the cracks. That isn't personal, that's chess with history behind it. Barrios has already stood in front of Tank Davis's power and Manny Pacquiao's pressure, and nights like that don't leave you fragile, they leave you calibrated. He doesn't need fireworks, he needs execution. Barrios isn't the fastest or flashiest fighter in the room, but he's durable in a way that disrupts plans. He doesn't have to be spectacular to win, he just has to be steady. If Ryan searches for rhythm, Barrios will try to break it. If Ryan wants space, Barrios will crowd it. This camp isn't loud because it doesn't need to be. It's built on memory, and Goosen remembers exactly what Ryan tends to leave open.
Ability where I think he can hurt Ryan Garcia. Do I see this fight going a distance? I don't think this fight's going to go to distance. I think there's going to be a knockout in this fight. It's either going to be Ryan Garcia catching him as he's coming in, or vice versa. You're going to have Barrios catching Ryan Garcia as he comes in, or even if he exits.
Then Tim Bradley jumps in predicting a knockout, and while it sounds bold, there's logic underneath it. When he points out that Goosen understands Ryan's Achilles heel, that's real insight. Bradley critiques Ryan's upright stance, the high chin, the jab that drops on the return. And while calling him average without speed and power feels harsh, there's some uncomfortable truth in the technical breakdown. Those openings exist, and against a disciplined opponent, openings cost you. Bradley highlighting Barrios' right hand as a potential equalizer makes sense, especially if Ryan admires his work after combinations instead of exiting cleanly. Still, reducing Ryan's greatness to just speed and power misses the bigger picture. That explosiveness is precisely what makes him dangerous. But if he can't handle a gritty, composed fighter like Barrios, the narrative shifts hard. This fight feels combustible because Barrios swells under pressure and Ryan leaves defensive doors open. That combination rarely goes 12 quiet rounds.
Gervonta Davis. I was just thinking about this. Gervonta Davis has beaten Ryan Garcia, he's beaten Mario Barrios, and he's beaten Rolly Romero. And the dude can't keep his act together long enough to become an all-time great or one of the greats of this generation in the sport. I think the dude is so skilled, but he's such a up, dude.
He's one of those guys that's gonna come to fight, and we're gonna have a great one on our hands.
Approaches it differently, calmly dissecting the situation instead of predicting chaos. He calls the Raleigh loss embarrassing, not to insult, but to emphasize urgency, and then reminds everyone that Barrios' recent run hasn't been dominant either, with draws that suggest survival more than supremacy. Neither man enters with a flawless resume, which makes this less about past victories and more about who corrects mistakes faster on fight night. Now the real question becomes evolution. Experience alone doesn't block punches, fundamentals do. Ryan describing his style as freestyle with technique sounds brilliant or reckless depending on execution, and his confidence about knowing Goosen's strategy borders on psychological warfare. For Ryan, this is legacy pressure. A win opens doors, a loss tightens the ceiling. For Barrios, it's about escaping the almost label in big fights. One is fighty.
He's had, the resume is phenomenal. Only problem is he doesn't win a lot of the biggest fights of his career, right? He loses to Gervonta, loses to Keith Thurman, draw with Abel Ramos, draw with Manny Pacquiao. Barrios needs that signature win in his career. He has the Ugas win, that's a big one, but Ryan Garcia would take him over the hump. And again, you could say that he and him being the champion, unifications are out there. Rolly Romero is there. Again, Devin Haney at 147. You have potentially a Conor Benn fight for the WBC belt. He can continue to put himself in position for massive.
Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bloodline Boxing. I'll see you in the next one.